I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Fucking A.
Where are you headed to?
Heading up to Sapphire Lake.
Ah, good hunting and fishing. What are you doing up there?
It's a nature photography trip.
You don't really look like the nature photography type.
I'm just tagging along on this one.
You're a Marine, right?
SEAL.
Charlie?
Alright, I'm gonna get you out of here, alright?
Now, this is gonna hurt you a lot more than it's ever gonna hurt me. I want you to go out there and find our new friend. What's so funny?
The fact that you actually think that you are hunting him.
Welcome to our woods.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a PayPal request from Phil of Up, who asked me to review the 2016 film The Horde. First, I want to thank Phil of Up for requesting it. If anyone ever wants to request me a movie review or a commentary or a movie topic, whatever it may be, the link to my PayPal is down below. Or if you're ever interested in joining me on my Patreon, the link to that is down below as well. But The Horde, I understand now why he requested this. Because this film is very, very flawed. It has a ton of warts. It has a ton of low-budget issues. But I did like it overall, simply because at the end of the day, it's still a fun concept, which is, what if Rambo starred in Wrong Turn or The Hills of Eyes? I go more towards Wrong Turn. If Rambo or Commando meets Wrong Turn, or I would go with Rambo because there's a lot of bow and arrow action in this. Rambo meets Wrong Turn. I was going to say Hard Target, Wrong Turn. And there's a couple recognizable people. You got Vernon Wells has a small role. Speaking of Commando. Bill Moseley, he also has a small role. Costas Mandalore, I believe, is one of the villains. The lead guy, I don't know much about him. He's Paul Logan. He's not big on the acting, but as the movie went on, I kind of settled with him. I don't know if I got used to him, or I just appreciated him kicking mutant ass. I think that's a fun concept. I do wish, though, that if this was a movie with a bit of a bigger budget to smooth out a lot of the warts in it, the issues, and if you had a guy like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Martha Costos or I think like if Jean-Claude Van Damme starred in this movie, he had a bit of a bigger budget, it would have been a fucking classic. As it is, I saw it for free on Tubi TV. It's only 80 some minutes, and there are much worse times to waste your time with. The first half of the film is kind of a meh slasher movie. You have these two teens in the tent. I'm sure they're getting ready to have it on, but they get pulled out by these mutants. One gets an axe to the chest. And then there's this photography class that's going to go on this camping trip. You have the female teacher, her boyfriend, who's our lead, who's this former Navy SEAL, played by Paul Logan, who like helped write the film and produce the film. Definitely a big part of this movie. And about 4 or so teens go with them. The teens are nothing. The teens are really bad, especially this guy that I think they purposely made very, very annoying. It's this guy with an ascot. He's like whatever. I mean, think of, a female equivalent, but a guy. And he has an accent. I don't know if he's supposed to be a stereotypical gay guy with the accent. Like, whatever. Like, what are you doing? I don't know what they're going for. But he was so annoying. I think they did that on purpose because he does get killed pretty badly. But I'm like, okay, even if that was your purpose, that there's better ways to write a bad, a character you hate. Steve Gene's Graveyard Shift. That's a character you love to hate, but better acting and better written character. One of the weirdest fucking things about this film, Don the Dragon Wilson has a cameo. And he's pretty much Crazy Ralph in a slasher movie. That's really what he is. Because he's like, he doesn't go, "You doomed," but he goes to Paul Logan, the lead. There are big wars, and there are little ones. And they sneak up on you. Be careful, soldier. And then he appears like at the very, very end of the movie. And I'm like, this is like Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th. I mean, and it made me weird. Like, I'm not a big Don the Dragon Wilson fan, but why didn't you just have him star in the movie? But that's lead, co-wrote and produced the film as well. Bill Moseley plays a bartender. And you do to see the lead kick some ass. He's not a great martial artist, but he's fine. He's fine. But like I said, the movie does have its issues. There are times where the camera is a bit too herky-jerky. The first half of the film is sluggish to sit through. So I know you're saying, well, Matt, why are you not ranting on it? The last 30, 40 minutes of the film, I would say the last half of the movie, last 40 minutes, was a dumb, fun time waster. Where some people have been killed, his lady and some others have been taken, he arms himself up, and he kicks a lot of mutant ass. And that's something I've wanted to see in a movie. A badass. You saw a little bit of that in Wrong Turn 2, which I do like that film. I think the first Wrong Turn's better. Wrong Turn 2 is the last decent Wrong Turn film. But yeah, a little bit with that with Henry Rollins. Which I would say Henry Rollins was a better actor than this guy. In a way, I kind of wish Wrong Turn 2 was this movie. Meaning Henry Rollins became the lead. And then he just kicked everybody's ass until the end. He did a little bit of that, but they didn't go all the way. This is like if that went all the way. And between the two, I would say Henry Rollins is the better actor. And so, I mean, that would have been cool. But you kind of get that with this. Again, Paul Logan of the cast of the good guys, he drew on me to the point at the end, I'm like, I could deal with them. They were much better. Michael Dudikoff, like Martha Costas, Gary Daniels, Jeff Wincott, Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course, Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren would have been awesome. That's the thing, is that there's potential in this, and I have fun with the last half, or the second half of the film. But I can't sit here and say there's no problems. There's a shitload of problems. I can understand why it has such a low rating on IMDb. I can't defend the film. I'll defend a film like, hell, I Am a Major with Martha Costas, and that's a fucking asylum movie. But if you want to see a last 30-40 minutes of a guy being Rambo, commando type, kicking mutant ass, what do I mean by that? He's shooting a flaming arrow into a mutant he's tied up to burn him. He's taking them out one by one. He cuts a leg off. He puts machetes to the heads. He's fighting some in water. He's shooting them in the arrow, whether it be arrow through the head. I think one time like an arrow through the neck. The second half of the film, I'm like, okay, you know what? Warts and all, I'm having fun. The last half of this film, the last 30, 40 minutes, I'm having fun. It's definitely a film that got better. And he even like rips the throat out of one. There's like this big guy that he fights, and he puts like a super punch. I appreciated that. So again, are there issues? Sure. The acting's not that good, especially the teenage characters. Paul Logan, there's a lot of better action folks you could have put into it. Paul Logan, I know you co-wrote it and you produced it, but you should have been like, you know what? Even Don the Dragon Wilson, put him in there. Or put Jean-Claude Van Damme, Gary Daniels, Jeff Wincott, Jeff Speedman. Why not? That'd be a hell of a comeback, Jeff Speedman. I mean, or even fucking Sylvester Stallone. That would never happen, but fuck, if this was the new Rambo movie, I would have given it a 10 out of 10, because that would have had the budget and it would have been a cooler plot than taking to Mexico, where the hell. Taking the Mexican journey. The Mexican Chronicles. Fuck. I still rather watch this than Rambo 5, sorry. There's explosions, bad CGI. There's some practical blood. There's a few that's CG blood. Sometimes the camera. Again, there's a lot of warts. It's really hard to say I recommend it, but to my friends like Efrey and even John Zero Cool, Fabio, if anyone ever sees this, it's for free on Tubi TV. I would say give it a watch. Neko probably don't love it, but it's for free. And I do think the last half, there's some fun. Where you get a Rambo type of guy, shooting arrows, killing mutants, you know, to save his girl, to save the day. Even the score is trying to have that. It's not synthesizer, sadly. I think that would have been better. But it's trying to have like an old, not like an action feel to the score, which I kind of appreciated and had a little bit of fun with some of the music. Again, a lot of it has a lot of zits on it. You know, a lot of cuts that can't be bandaged on it. But again, for a film that it's 80 some minutes long, if you ever wanted to see a Rambo and a Wrong Turn movie, this is probably the closest you'd ever get. And I do think the last 30 to 40 minutes is some dumb, although very flawed, fun though. I did have fun at the end of the day. I had some dumb fun. So that's why I call it's a fun time waster. And there's a lot of potential. It's a seed that I can see a lot of good things grow from it. It's still a very rotted plant that you probably throw away, and maybe because of the thing seen lately, or maybe because, oh, you know what? I get why you wanted me to see this. I don't repeat myself, but to end this video, Rambo in a wrong turn movie. Kicking ass, shooting arrows, arrows to the head, arrows through the neck. The asshole kid who's annoying as fuck. He does get I think a good comeuppance. So if you hate that character, you'll enjoy it. If you thought that character in the beginning of the film was annoying as fuck, I forget the character's name. He's wearing like an ascot, so I remember him and being annoying as fuck. You'll be glad for his comeuppance. The last 30-40 minutes, it's some fun times. It's some fun times. I think it's worth at least one watch. Especially when a lot of us have a lot of free time. So it's worth one watch. Thank you. Take care. See you guys later. And stay tuned for more reviews. Bye-bye.